Welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast / FlossTube. That's the word for fans of all things knitting, cross stitch, and geeky. I'm Cece, and I'm glad you're here today. Welcome. Today is Thursday, the 15th of October, 2020. And this is episode 417. I'd like to say a big welcome back. Love you all to all returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. As you can see, I've learned a little bit more of my ASL this week. If you're new here, I have gone back to school to become an ASL interpreter. So I am learning new things every day. And I would love to eventually be able to completely sign the podcast / FlossTube while I'm doing it, because that would be amazing. Also, if you're new here, you're going multi-generational. There's one person on the screen. I'm Cece. I'm Mama. My 21, Dammy turned 21 this week on Tuesday. My 21-year-old kid, Dammy, is a junior in university, learning that this week too, and is only on every other week. Although because of a scheduling issue, Dammy won't be on this week and next week, but then we'll be on for 2 weeks in a row. That's just how it goes sometimes. So that's where the multi-generational comes from. So, well, I have quite a few things to show you today. Yeah, a couple of finishes, which is nice. So we probably should get started. Here we go. And now we're going to talk about what's on my needles. But first, coffee. Tired as a mother. Tired. I only have one thing on my needles this week, and y'all have never seen this before. I hope you cannot hear that. Pink Pearl chose this moment to use the litter box, which is in my office. I hope you couldn't hear that. Gotta love cats. Y'all have never seen this project before because it's brand new. So in my Nerdbird Makery bag, I am working on birthday socks for my bestie, Katie. Her birthday is in less than 2 weeks, and they're not going to be done in time, but I'm doing the best I can, and she understands that. So I'm using my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern that you can get on our website, javapearldesigns.com. There is links to everything that we talk about in the podcast. There are links at our website. It's at ggkcs.com. So if you're wondering about anything we talk about, go there and check it out. If for some reason we talked about something that we didn't put in there, feel free to send us a message. We're happy to help. But yeah, you can get my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern at javapearldesigns.com. I'm on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and I'm using Abstract Fiber Super Sock Plus in the Thistle colorway. So here is sock number 1. I think there we go. That's a little better. I think because I'm wearing this hot pink hoodie, it's blowing it out a little bit. And the Progress Keeper is from Ann Tudor. It's a pumpkin. Is anybody else getting 50 gazillion spam phone calls a day right now? I block every single number as they come in, and I'm still getting them, as well as spam texts. I have my phone down here because I have the show notes on it because I'm recording on my computer. So I hope that you're not hearing the vibrations. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to turn on Do Not Disturb. There we go. And that way, if there was vibrations, you won't hear it anymore. If there were, I apologize. I'm sorry. So yeah, so I am working on these socks for Katie, and I'm about halfway through the foot. So yeah, so I'm working on that. And that's the only thing that I have on my needles right now. But I have 2 knitting FOs. Wait, FOs. That's apostrophe S. Learned that this week too. So let's move on to the next segment. And now we're going to talk about my 2 finished projects. So first up, my pumpkin socks are done. So this is what I called my Hello Pumpkin socks. It is also for my Frenchanella Cappuccino sock pattern. I did it on US 1.5 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Pandia's Jewels Snug in the Pumpkin Spice colorway. That's the orange. Ooh, there we go. The lighting, the clouds are messing with the lighting. I'm doing the best I can. And the toe, heel, and cuff is X-ray and fingering in the semi-solid Battleship colorway. I was so excited that I was able to do matching because I thought I would have to do inverse with the gray as the main and the orange as the toe, heel, cuff. But I had enough and I have like 1 gram left over of yarn. So there is finished socks. And now that I've showed you, I can wear them. Yay! And the other thing I finished, of course, is my weekly preemie hat. This is number 41 for the year. It's from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can also get on javapearldesigns.com. I used US 6's 4 mil needles, and the yarn is Bernay Softy Baby in the Princess Pebbles colorway. That's the pink and the white and the peach, and there's a little bit of gray in it as well. And Karen Simply Soft in the gray heather colorway. So I'm continuing my thing this month of, since it's my birthday month, doing all the preemie hats are in pink, so, or have pink in them. So that is this week's finished preemie hat. And that's everything that I finished for the week. That's a lot. Socks and a hat. And school. Lots and lots of school. So I'm pretty pleased with myself. Okay, let me show you what I've been doing. And now it's time for FlossTube. Okay, first up in my Tilting Planet project bag, I have my project that I work on during my weekly Stitch With Me's that I record on Sundays and they go live on Mondays. I am doing Baba Black Sheep by the Prairie Schooler. The pattern was a gift from Michelle Bendy Stitchy. And I'm using 18 count Ada that was dyed pink by Erin the 2 Martini Stitcher. It's my, let me see if I can cover up. I'll put it against this and see if that, oops, sorry. That's a little truer. So I worked some more on, you guys, I worked some more on the sheep this week during the Stitch With Me. So I need to do the 4th leg. So I will be doing that on this week's episode. Obviously, I'm using different colors in the pattern called for because those didn't work with the fabric. Oh, I forgot to say, this is where I was last week. Hopefully you've already seen it on the screen. I'm still trying to get used to that. Still getting used to that. Okay, next up in my Cats and the project is Cats and Mandalas. In my project bag by Stitch Toolbox, I am using a Snippety by Caddy Cross Stitches. Somebody asked me today about her. She doesn't have anything in her Etsy shop right now. So, but there's a link to her Etsy shop in our show notes. And if you're interested in getting one, maybe just send her a message and see when she plans to restock her shop or if she'll do a custom order. I'm doing Cats and Mandalas February by Kitty and Me Designs, Pamela Kellogg, for Dammy's birthday, and it's not going to be done. School is just taking a lot more time than I expected. I'm putting on the screen right now where I was last week. And here's where I'm at now. As you can see, I didn't get a ton of progress, but I did get a little bit. And my needle minder is from Gecko Rouge. So there's that. So I will keep working on this. Dammy's like, it's fine. Get it to me when you get it to me. So, I would like to have it done by the end of the month at the latest, though, because I know this is not cross-stitch related, but I will be doing, as I have done for the last, gosh, I don't even know how many years now, y'all, 6 or 7 years maybe, something called Nanny Swemo, which is National Knit a Sweater in a Month, and it's a spin-off of NaNoWriMo, which is National Write a Novel in a Month, where you write a novel of 50,000 words or more in November. So the spin-off for knitting is you knit a sweater of 50,000 stitches or more. And so all of my crafting stuff will get set aside except for my sweater, which I'll start November 1st and work on till I finish it. And then I'll get caught up with preemie hats at that point. And I won't try to catch up on Edinburgh Castle. I'll just start back wherever I'm at. And then I actually picked up the pattern from over there because my tablecloth, if you watch my Stitch With Me's, I have like a vinyl kind of tablecloth with pumpkins on it. And my mouse doesn't work well on that thing. So I was like, I need a piece of paper. And I had just printed this out, the pattern out yesterday, because while Dammy's home this weekend for their birthday, I'm going to get them to help me measure so that I can figure out how much yardage I need, so that, because I'm going to go out to the fiber mill that I work at, and I'm using yarn from the mill, and we're going to dye my yarn next weekend. So I need to know exactly how much yardage I need. So I need to know what size. So this is what I will be knitting. It's called the Sinister Cadigan, and you knit it completely in the round, and then you use a sewing machine to stitch 2 parallel lines, and then you cut it up the middle, and then you pick up your stitch. You fold it back inside and reinforce it, tack it down, and you pick up stitches and do your button band. So that is what I will be knitting in November. The pattern is by, where is her name? Marna Gilligan. Her company is called, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, I apologize, Ankaitin Beag, Ancaitinbeag. And then in December, I bought one of her yarn advent calendars, and I will be doing her last year's advent pattern, because this year's, I believe, is a blanket, and I didn't want to do that, but last year's advent pattern was a cowl, and so I'm going to use the yarn from her advent calendar. And then I also got, let me look it up here to tell you which one I got. I ordered the Black Needle Society's The Nice List, 25 Days of Stitchy Gifts. And so I will have that as well. And I will be doing Vlogmas, Flossmas, whatever you want to call it, in December, where I will record a video every day. So you'll be seeing, I'll be opening the advent calendar and the nice list. And my goal is to knit that day's clue in its entirety so that I can show it to you the following day. We'll see. My class doesn't end until a little bit into December, so I may have to play some catch up. We'll see. And I can't remember how much knitting there is in each day's clue. So we'll see. But I will be doing that in December. So there also won't, it depends on how big the clues are. And then once my class is over, I'll have a little more time to hopefully get back to working on Edinburgh Castle as well daily. But we'll have to see. So, speaking of Edinburgh Castle, in my Knit Run Dig Winnie the Pooh project bag, I am working on a full coverage piece of Edinburgh Castle by Terra Luna Stitchery. I am using Pattern Keeper software on the Kindle Fire 7. My needle minders are from Top Knot Stitcher. My grime guard is from Crab Shack Stitchery. I'm also using a Snippety. I'm putting on the screen right now where I was last week, and I'm looking it up to see where I was. On the 7th of October, I had finished 28,000 stitches. And here is where I am this week. So I did this entire column this week. I'm now at 28,800 stitches out of 265,824. I'm at 10.834% complete, and I've completed 5 out of 60 pages. I think I need to do another 3 columns to finish out the next page. And I did what I told y'all last week after my debacle with parking all those threads last week, and it was such a mess. I did what I told y'all about, like I was going to work, well, up here, where there's only like 1 or 2 colors, I just worked each block as it came. But then once I got down here to these last 2, I would work 1 color in its entirety in those 2 squares, and then do the next one, do the next one. It's a little cleaner on the back, and it was a little easier to manage. Also, going forward, I'm not going to take it out of its Q-snap every week because it's a pain in the butt to get it back in there and arranged and everything because I've got so much excess fabric. I'm just going to take the photos like this so that you can see the week's progress. When I do need to move it in the Q-snap, I will take a picture of like the full piece at that point. But I did want to tell y'all, I told y'all last week that I had ordered these things. I got them from Amazon, and I will put a link in the show notes. They're called magnetic silicone ties. Sorry for the crinkling. I should have opened this before I started recording. So this is what they look like. And they are just, the magnets are strong. Come on, let go. Which is good. There we go. So they're just silicone, and then they've got magnets. I think it just connected to my needle minder. I think that people sometimes use them for like cord wrangling, like, you know, if you've got computer cords or whatever. But Erin Tumar's Teeny Stitcher had showed these in her FlossTube last week, and I immediately ordered them. So I'm using 4 of them down here. And I went under the grime guard. So let me show you on the back here. So, like I said, all this excess fabric, because this is a massive piece. This is the design area, well, I don't know what count they were doing on. It's 624 stitches by 426 stitches. So it's big. So I just used 4 of them and just kind of, after I'd rolled it, went around them and under the grime guard and magnets, and it has worked beautifully since the day I got them. Once I got them on there and arranged, it's so much easier to work with the fabric because I'm not having the issues because I also use these that are thread huggers, like for a spool of thread. And when you have just a little bit of fabric, they work great. But when you have a lot of fabric, they don't. So I'm so glad that Erin showed these, and they are working amazingly. So I will put a link to these in the show notes. I just got them on Amazon. A set of, how many? There was 10 colors, and there was 2 of each color, so 20 of them, and it was, I want to say like $17 or $18. If you don't have a lot of full coverage pieces, you could like totally split the cost with somebody and each get, 10 or whatever. So, but yeah, so that's where I am on this week. Yeah. So I think that's everything for FlossTube. I am going to talk a little bit in Yummies about some cross-stitch stuff. So I hope you'll stick around. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. Normally I say, what are yummies, Dammy? Dammy, I hope I can remember this. I always forget it. Yummies are our current favorite things that we like, things we want to talk to you about. Yummies. I think I may have gotten it. Okay. First up, I have this brand new shirt that I am wearing that just came. It says, I love my non-binary child, and it has the 2 hearts with the colors. And this was a gift from Rivi. It came from a website that I've linked in the show notes called thisistheirs.com. thisisteirs.com. And they have lots of amazingly beautiful products. And Rivi said when they saw this shirt, they knew that I needed it because if you've missed it, Dammy came out as a non-binary lesbian earlier this year. So I love my non-binary child. So thank you so much, Rivi. I love it, and I'm proud to wear it and proud to support my kid. So next up, let's see if I can show you these. I'm going to try putting it. I don't know how clear they are. These are the new Color Street nails that I just put on yesterday. They're one of the Halloween ones called Cat's All Folks. Do you see the kitties? They're fantabulous, and I love them. I don't know if they're in stock anymore. I will put a link in the show notes to my friend Amy, Creativity by Gidge. She's my dealer. She's the one that I get my Color Street nails from. I'm still fairly new to Color Street, but I'm in love with them. I love them. I tried something new yesterday because I am really, really, really hard on my nails. Really hard. I work on my computer a lot, and then with knitting and cross stitch and signing, and I'm just really hard on my nails. So I was having some problems with chipping at the tips. And so I did some Googling, and someone suggested not immediately filing away the excess that's folded over the tip, but to wait and let it cure for a little bit. So I put all of them on before I then went back and started filing off the excess. I also put a clear coat on top to try to help as well. So we'll see if they do a little better for me. It's not the product. I'm just really hard on my nails. Always have been. So, but I keep my nails fairly short. And so the nice thing is I can get 2 wearings out of 1 package of Color Street. So, once I put the extras back into the package that they came in and fold it over and paper clip it to keep the air out. And then just because I'm so hard on my nails, I redo them once a week. But being able to get 2 uses out of 1 package is awesome. So I'll be wearing these for the next 2 weeks, this design. And then after that, I have pumpkins for Halloween, and I'm excited. Okay, I wanted to tell you about I opened it up on my phone already. I told y'all last week that I have partnered with Michelle Bindi for her auctions. She does charity auctions almost every month. Sometimes she has to take a break, and that's totally fine. But October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, which is something near and dear to our hearts because we lost 3 babies to miscarriage. And so the charity for this month is Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep, which is an organization that volunteers to take family photos for families who have lost babies. This way the family can hold on to memories despite not being able to hold on to their babies anymore. So I've partnered with Michelle on this and donated quite a few things for the auctions. I will put a link in the show notes, but to bid, you go to Michelle Bindi on Instagram, and she posts the auctions on Wednesday nights, and then they close on Saturday mornings. And then she sends you the link to donate. Money does not go through Michelle at all. It goes straight to the charity. And then your item, if you're the winner, gets sent out to you. So this week, she has a gorgeous project bag by Lynn X Stitches Creates. It's a 14 by 16 that will hold an 11 by 11 Q-snap, and it's Rosie the Riveter. There's the back. So there's that one. And then the second thing is a fully kitted up stitching project donated by Works by ABC. It's kitted with 28 count fabric. It is Stony Creek Collection Happiness. It's beautiful flowers. And there's the floss and the fabric. So there's that. And then next up is one of the things we donated, all 10 of our ebooks. All 10. It's like over $130 value for all of those. So that is one. And then we also donated all 3 of our physical books, Coffee with Cece and Dammy 2, and Tickled Pink. So there's that. And then there is a full 12-month set of Lizzie Kate monthly stamp flippets, as well as a bonus chart. And then the final thing is yarn from the Darn Good Yarn subscription box. Bright multicolor. Yeah. So those are the auctions for this week. There'll be more coming every week of the month. So if you are interested in any of those things, or you just want to support the charity, like I said, go to Michelle Bindi's Instagram. I will put a link in the show notes at ggkcs.com. And just a reminder that we're continuing to do hashtag GGKCraftyPad. The promise list is up on the screen right now, and we pick our favorites the weeks that Dammy is on the episode. So there you go. All right, that's everything for Yummies this week. So let's move on to the next segment. And now we're going to talk about what I'm reading, watching, and listening to. Just a reminder that our October, November, December 2020 RAL read-along is continuing to go on. It is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you read as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. All the details are in the show notes as well as in the Facebook group, and you enter the challenge in the Facebook group, and by participating in the seasonal RALs, you earn entries into the year-long challenge, and at the beginning of 2021, we will draw for 3 grand prize winners. There's also opportunities to earn bonus entries. So all the details are there. Okay, what I'm reading. This week, let's start with nonfiction. I am reading Beyond Shame, Creating a Healthy Sex Life on Your Own Terms by Matthias Roberts. This is the book for the LGBTQ faith book club that I'm in, which is a group for both people that identify that way as well as allies. It's a very, very good book. I'm really enjoying reading it. He talks a lot about quite a bit about, how with the purity culture in religion that caused a lot of people a lot of shame. So I'm enjoying reading that. I'm also reading the Complex PTSD Workbook, A Mind-Body Approach to Regaining Emotional Control and Becoming Whole by Ariel Schwartz. I'm almost done with that. I have a little bit left to finish that. And then fiction-wise, I'm continuing to reread the 5th book in the Harry Potter series, The Order of the Phoenix, along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. This week was the second half of the Occlumency chapter, where Snape is trying to teach Harry how to protect his mind from Voldemort. Okay. Forward Me Back to You by Matali Perkins. I talked about this one in pretty big detail last week, and it was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. I highly, highly recommend it. It is obviously trigger warnings for sexual abuse, sex trafficking, assault, trauma, things like that. So. I am continuing to read the Lucy Kincaid series by Alison Brennan. I finished book 11, The Lost Girls, which, so this series is a FBI female agent in the FBI. I read The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This is about a group of friends that go on a New Year's getaway together on this island where there's only, I think it was an island. I'm pretty sure it was an island, where there's only the 2 or 3 people that work at the home there on this island, and someone gets murdered. And in the process of trying to figure out who did it, we find out all the things about this group of friends, a lot of which is lots of hidden secrets, all that stuff. So that's what that one was. I listened to The Night Swim by Megan Golden, and I highly recommend, if you're going to read this one, to listen to the audiobook. I got it from our library. It is about a woman who is a true crime podcaster who, in her first 2 seasons, had solved these cold case. I think the first one she solved the cold case, and one of them she solved a cold case, and the other one, she helped a guy who had been wrongly imprisoned, who was innocent, get out of jail. But this third case that she does, and the premise of the story, is a court case is going on where a teenage girl has been raped. But in the meantime of all this going on, there's also a secondary story of a woman whose sister was murdered, and it was covered up 25 years prior. And she really, really wants this podcaster to help her, but she doesn't want to meet face to face with her. So she keeps leaving letters under her windshield wiper and various things. But the really cool thing about the audiobook is it's got, I think, 3 different narrators. So you have the narrator, the voice of the podcaster, you have the voice of the woman whose sister was murdered, and you have the podcast episodes. So it was really, really, I really am glad that I took my friend's advice and listened to it instead of just reading it, because I felt like it enhanced the experience. So it was very, very good. And then last night I just finished reading Girl, Serpent, Thorn. Dammy's not here to help me with my pronunciation. By Melissa Bashardoust, I believe is how you say it. And it is a twist on a fairy tale of a, we're in this kingdom, and the daughter is poison. Nobody can touch her skin without dying. And so she's hidden away, and there's, all these creatures that are, part of the story, and she's trying to figure out if there's a way to make this curse go away. And it was really cool at the very end, the author wrote about how different things in folklore inspired her to include that aspect. She talks about how she picked some of the names and words because of some language, particular languages, and what inspired her to create whatever character. It was really good, and it's a self-contained. So one novel tells the whole story. But I just finished it last night and really, really enjoyed it. And then I just started reading last night when I finished that, Hench by Natalie Zena Walschatz. Again, I hope I pronounced that correctly. And I've just barely started it, but it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's this woman who works for a temp agency, but she works with villains, and it's like this whole world of superheroes and villains. And she works at a temp agency, and she does data entry and spreadsheets and such. And something bad's going to happen. We know that from the get-go. So I'm excited to read some more of it tonight when I get ready. I usually crawl into bed around 9:00 and read for a couple hours before I go to sleep. So I'm excited to pick that one back up tonight and find out more about the story. So, okay. And then we finished rewatching season 1, and we're rewatching season 2 of Monk, which is an amazing TV show. Love it. I have watched all but the final episode of season 1 of Deaf U. I think it's going to be the only season, I think. I don't know. But it is a docudrama. I called it a reality series last week, but it's a docudrama is how they're labeling it, of a group of students who attend Gallaudet University, which is the only deaf university in the U.S. There are other universities with deaf programs, but my understanding is it's the only deaf university, Gallaudet University. And so we follow the lives of this group of friends. It is rated MA. It has got lots of adult content, language, sexual content. So this is not one to watch with your young kiddos. So I've got one episode left to watch of that. I'm watching season 4 of The Masked Singer, and season 15 of Supernatural came back. So I rewatched the 2 final episodes that had aired pre-COVID, and then watched the new episode that aired last week. I'm not sure how many more we have. Not many, just a handful, and it's the end of the series. So, but I was glad I had gone back and rewatched those 2 episodes because it had been so long. Yeah. So, and then listening to my favorite murder podcast. It was a really good one that I listened to this morning, about a serial killer in Australia, I believe it was. But it has a conclusion. They finally found the guy, and it went to court, and it's been in court during COVID. So you get this conclusion of what happened. So I listened to this week's episode of David Tennant Does a Podcast With, and it was Neil Gaiman. And so they talked about, Good Omens and all kinds of other things, his work with Terry Pratchett, how he got into writing. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it. Unlocking Us with Brene Brown podcast. I think I'm one behind on that one. But I know I'm going to be going into Seattle next week for a doctor's appointment, and then I'm going to be going to the fiber mill, which is an hour away from where I live, next weekend as well, to dye the yarn for my sweater that I talked about. And so I know I will have some prime listening time because they're longer episodes, and I like to listen to them all in one fell swoop, if I can. So, the Evolving Faith podcast, and then random Spotify playlists. So, that is everything that I am reading, watching, and listening to this week. So, let's move on to the next segment. We made it to the end of the show. Yay! Thanks for being with me here this week. I mentioned it earlier, but so Dammy obviously is not on today and won't be on next week. Next week could be a very interesting episode because I'm probably going to record it in the car while I'm on the ferry because I have to sit there. Because otherwise it's going to be late in the day before I get a chance to record. So you may get me recording in the car next week. Not 100% sure, but that's probably what's going to happen. So Dammy won't be on next week, but then they will be on the last week in October as well as the first week in November. And the last podcast in October, we will be releasing my two brand new patterns. I'll take 2 coffee danishes, oh my word, it's a Gilmore Girls quote. I'll have 2 coffees and 2 cherry danishes to go, please. And there's a cowl as well as a pair of socks, and they're sister patterns. So those will be releasing the last week of October. So I'm excited for that. I don't think we have any other announcements. So, a big thank you, love y'all, to everybody who supports the podcast, no matter how it is you do it. Even watching is supporting. But if you would like to support the podcast financially, there's 4 ways you can do that. And the money that we earn through these 4 venues is used primarily for shipping prizes, but as well as purchasing prizes, technology behind the scene, all those things. So, the first way is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on what level you donate at. I already told you last week that I had done rewards. So, if you would like to learn more about it, or want to sign up, you can go to patreon.com/GGKCS. Second way is PayPal. There is a link in the sidebar of our website where you can make a one-time donation. Third is bookshop.org, which every week we create a list on their site of all the books that we talk about in that week's episode. It's an online bookstore with a mission to financially support local independent bookstores. If you purchase a book from our list, we earn a commission, and local independent bookstores also earn money from your purchase. You can go to our shop at bookshop.org/shop/GGKCS. And we are Amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our website first, in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes, there are links to Amazon. You choose your appropriate Amazon for your country, do your shopping as normal, and we earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing anyway. You can find us online at ggkcs.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online. Apple Podcasts, Instagram, Facebook groups. Our group is on Facebook. It's at facebook.com/groups/GGKCS. There are 3 questions you have to answer. First, what's the cat's name? Pink or Pink Pearl. She's sitting over there. Stay tuned after the credits for a video of her. Second question is, who's the mama? Cece or Dammy? Cece, me. And third is, you read the rules, check that you agree with them, and then we will let you in the group. If for any reason you forget the answers to the questions, just tell us that when you join, and we'll let you in. We're just trying to keep out spammers. So Facebook groups, Facebook, YouTube, did I already say that? I don't know. Anyway, all the places you can find the links at ggkcs.com. So I have some more vocabulary words to learn and some homework to do. Dammy will be home this weekend to celebrate their birthday with us. So we're looking forward to that. I do believe that margaritas are on the menu. So, so Dammy will be home this weekend, which will be nice. And I'll be back with you on Monday with a new Stitch With Me episode. And then next Friday with a full-length episode. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, wear your masks. Wear your masks. This pandemic is not over. Wear your masks. Stay hydrated. And keep crafting. All the things. Craft all the things. Until we see you again. Or I see you again because it's me next week as well. So until I see you again, happy crafting, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Look at me. I am the cutest baby in the world. I make everybody happy because I am so cute. Meow, meow.